Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Nina's Chelsea Corner if you're new round here, and welcome to a match review looking at Ipswich 2, Chelsea 0. It's defeat for Chelsea at the end of 2024. So not the brightest note following a draw to Everton, a loss to Fulham at home, and now a loss to Ipswich, gifting them their first home win of the season as well, guys. How nice of us is that? And yes, I am pretty frustrated. I felt really angry at certain times in that game because of what I watched and how things were unfolding. But while I will go into and scrutinise Chelsea's frailties and weaknesses in this game, I will take this moment to actually congratulate Ipswich on that performance. The goals, Delap, Hutchinson, their press, the relentless dangerous kind of attacks and keeping going, and all of that we Chelsea lacked today, just all of it. And yeah, so they deserved that result, got their clean sheet, and yeah, bright end to that. The place sounded like it was rocking. I mean, what an atmosphere they've created. They gave us a tough time and they walked away with the 3 points, and Chelsea left with nothing. So let's talk about the game, guys, from the setup, from the game management, from the players, to the chances, to the penalty, to the ruled goal that was offside, even though, okay, fine. But with the penalty, I will start by saying that I didn't think it was a penalty. But what I will say here is that penalty didn't matter. What do I mean by that? Is that game, guys, just wouldn't have changed. That's it. That's my opinion. The fact that it led to a penalty in the first place and we were in that position was because Ipswich were really forcing mistakes out of us, even in the early exchanges of the game. And the way they set out, we just compared to them, looks really lazy at times. And our work rate was just really half there. Yeah, we were keeping possession, but we just looked like we were very lackluster going forward. What were we doing? There were moments where a player would receive the ball and it would take a couple touches and a few turns left and right to figure out their next move. Where was that quick intensity? And especially when you're going away to play against Ipswich, much smaller grounds, more compact, the players are going to be very, very constructed at the back. You've got no time to make these kind of faffs and abouts, because how many times did we see Ipswich come through, have a chance, be very much more on target than we could have been? And yeah, you just kind of saw Ipswich and how they were playing, and you thought, well, that's how we've been playing this kind of whole season up until now, right? And this game, and I tweeted it, showed me exactly one thing that I've known from the start of the season, regardless of how good we've been, that we are defensively weak. We have defensive frailties, guys. That is the truth. And it's been masked over by the fact that we've had this really potent attack that's been outscoring opponents. But guess what? You cannot win every game by just outscoring your opponent. You're going to have to defend. You've got to keep clean sheets. And just the way that we've been making mistakes, but we've kind of walked over them because, when have we been scoring 6 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals a game? So we've been pretty happy to just kind of let that sort of brush aside. But these are games that are exposing it, certainly. So yeah, not good all round, guys. I'm not feeling too happy. It was very frustrating to watch, and it was just one of those games where it was just a hard watch. You could put another half out at the end of that game. We just wouldn't have scored a goal. You get a penalty against you, get a goal offside, and you hit the post, and then you sky a million other chances. Well, yeah, that's where you have to say, okay, quite unlucky with that. But also, did we get the best chance of coming out and winning this game? Now, this is where I bring up the setup, the lineup. Enzo Maresca, your name gets raised here. Now, he's obviously been posed quite a few questions in the last few games, and we've been saying, let's see how he deals with them. We were unhappy because he was not really being proactive in sort of games, leaving subs too late. Obviously today you didn't, and he used substitutes, but we saw changes into the lineup with Disasi coming in, Jorgensen obviously coming in goal, which, okay, he's done it in the league before with midweek games, even though we just thought it would be a conference league thing. No, he showed that he will do it in midweek games too in the league. And Disasi, even though we had Achampong and Gusto, even Reece James, who, yes, I understand wouldn't have been fit to come on just yet, but still, just to kind of give you an idea about the fact that we had these fullbacks on the pitch, on the bench, and yet Disasi was handed out a start, and that just didn't quite make sense to me. And obviously, yeah, in hindsight, it's a lot easier to say that was a bad decision, because Disasi, what was that? What was that? How are you? And this is where I'm talking about the kind of, and I want to use the word laziness, and the fact that you're not aware of your surroundings. And that's a very, 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 bare minimum kind of skill as a footballer, you know, being aware of your surroundings, checking over your shoulders, and he just passes it straight in. What a setup. I mean, goodness me. Someone joked and said that he was man of the match for Ipswich. Well, yeah, close behind to leave to lap. But goodness me, yeah, that was really, really tough to see. And not just that though, guys, just the whole time when it was a case where Ipswich invaded our half, we looked very, very lost. We didn't look like we had structure at the back, and it was very easy to kind of overturn us in terms of transition was very quick. And obviously Ipswich have that relentlessness in them up front, especially, you know, you're looking at Delap, he's not scared to come up against these teams and pose threat and cause threat. We really look like the more insecure team today, 100%. And yeah, the fact that every time it got to a point where at one point, and I think this is where Caicedo got a yellow card for this, it was 1 against 5 and Caicedo came from the back and decided to foul him. Really, is that what we've gotten to? It shouldn't be that way. And it's the fact that they were forcing us to make that many mistakes, causing us to lose our heads a little bit, just shows that we are missing that kind of element of composure, of structure at the back, and that is really where our defence has massively fallen short this season. We are exposing it a lot more, and it's in the spotlight today because our attack has not been fulfilling their job that they've been doing, you know, scoring loads of goals, because they've been quite ineffective in the last 3 games, bar Cole Palmer's goal against Fulham. So yeah, just 1 goal scored in those last 3 games says it all. So that's why we're now scrutinising their defence, and we're now realising that it's been a problem this whole season. Yeah, whisper it quietly. So guys, we have to address that. And am I gonna absolutely rip my hair out over this defeat? No, even though I've been angry and I've been critical, and I think that Enzo Maresca fell short in setting us up correctly, and I think that frankly he didn't really change anything for me tactically in the game either for us to actually have a breakthrough. And you know, when it got to the box or something happened, you know, it was either just blocked, but very easily blocked, right? There was not that element of kind of creativity, take it upon yourself. If Madueke took it up sort of until the end, there was nobody there, and Nkunku was a lot further back, and just Ipswich bodies in their box. So how could you really find anything in that game? And I guess, yes, we did call for Nkunku and Felix. Maybe not Nkunku, but Felix, I did say I want him to start. And I'd say on the most part, he was doing a decent job. I think he got pushed off the ball maybe a little bit too easily at times. But, you know, I don't know why Maresca looked at that and thought, oh, yeah, that's where the weakness in the team is coming from. So not quite the game that we envisioned, guys. Not quite the comeback or the bounce back, as you like to say, from the Fulham defeat. So yeah, it hurts. 2 defeats in a row now, adding those to the tally of Liverpool and Manchester City. So in the grand scheme of things, you know, and you could say that I'm a bit, what's the word, naive for thinking this way, or just a bit silly, but 4 defeats, we have something to learn from each one. Arguably the City one at the start of the season, yeah, it was the first day of the season we played the champions, even though they weren't at their best then. Liverpool, you know, we're seeing what Liverpool are capable of currently. We were at Anfield, lost that game 2-1, yes. Fulham at home, arguably unacceptable result, really, and how that played out. And Ipswich away as well. But this will be a huge lesson for us, guys. And this is why I say I remain positive, because I'd rather, as we knew that this kind of block would come, where we'd see a dip in results, see a dip in form, I'd rather it be now in winter, basically halfway mark, and we get to kind of address that. We've got a window, which is almost like a kind of power up, if you like. Use the window well. I actually, and I said this, even when Thiago Silva left, I said we need to kind of replace him and his experience, and I don't think that was done. And you still have this back line that's kind of learning on the job. You know, I'm talking Tosin. Yes, he's got Premier League experience, but doesn't look that comfortable in this back line. Badiashile, you never know what you're getting with Badiashile either. Is that a reliable defender to have? Not too sure. Disasi. Well, Disasi has had a lot of individual errors where he has played, so is that a reliable defender? And then Levi Colwill, guys. Arguably the one that probably deserves the most praise, but I will tell you that I'm not happy with Levi Colwill today. And I said to my dad, he made me furious today, because Levi Colwill has the temper of, I don't know what, he's so short-tempered. The first one to always be at you know, a scrap, and he's so easily provoked. And when people say that he should be captain, I'm sorry, I love Colwill and as a player I rate his qualities, but no, because yellow carded, so many games we've seen previously where the managers had to bring him off because he's another yellow away from being sent off, or he's just not being very good. You know, you see him smiling and smirking at the away fans that are giving him, you know, stick or whatever, exchanging probably not very nice words, but you're a professional footballer and your attitude on the pitch should also be professional. It should reflect that. And I think that in a game where we're losing, you know, we're already not playing well, of course we're getting a bit, yeah, and Malagusto as well equally, but Levi Colwill, I've noticed, just always is there and is ready to just be in it. Like, Colwill, please, mate, just simmer down a little bit. Simmer down, because I seriously think the next player to ever get sent off in a Chelsea game is going to be him, guys, I promise you. But yes, overall, not the greatest, but New Year's resolution, work on our defence, work on our substitutions and how they might affect the game a little bit in a more clever way, perhaps, and one that makes sense. So yeah, overall it stings. We end it with a defeat, but I believe in in this team, guys. I've seen what we're capable of. If we can fix our defence and just fix those little issues and make a great addition in the transfer window, strengthen that back line, bring in some experience, bring in someone that can really tie everyone in, and you don't see this kind of game in, game out inconsistency from our other players. We miss Thiago Silva so much, guys. But anyways, that's all from me. If you're a new viewer and you've stayed until the end and you've enjoyed this video, then please hit that subscribe button, guys. Make sure you're liking the video as well. Really, really helps out. Comment your thoughts down below. As always, like to read your thoughts, see how you're feeling. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be angry and you're going to be telling me a lot of hard truths, which is fair enough, but I just urge you, stay positive, be optimistic about the next year and the rest of the campaign, because you know there is something worth believing in. We're facing adversity, challenges were always going to come. It's how we bounce back. So yeah, stay strong, stay positive, stay optimistic. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you guys have a lovely day, evening, whatever you're doing, celebrating, etc. Enjoy it, guys. Hopefully everyone has a much better year. Wishing everybody all the best. I will see you very soon, guys. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all your support this year, everything you've done, everything you've commented, for anyone that's ever liked, subscribed, engaged with my content, said hello to me at Stamford Bridge. I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much for making this a really good year on my YouTube channel. Take care, guys, and of course, up the Chels.